I'm going to turn now to a CBC News exclusive that continues to turn up new developments. The Privy Council has launched an investigation into more than a dozen claims of harassment and verbal abuse against Governor General Julie Payette. The CBC's Ashley Burke broke this story. She joins us now with the latest. Before I get your latest reaction from Rideau Hall, maybe we can just sort of explain a little bit of background just for people who maybe haven't been watching every minute during the week about the complaints that were leveled actually against Julie Payette, the Governor General.
Exactly. So we spoke to, at the time our story aired on Tuesday, we spoke to a dozen sources who painted a picture of a toxic work environment, of cultural issues there, including a culture of fear. And they accused Julie Payette of not just one, thing that happened, but a consistent behavior over time that involved belittling employees, as well, humiliating them in public, berating them in some cases, and just to the point where workers felt like they wanted to cry in their cars outside or not go into work. And it wasn't just Julie Payette as well that was facing these allegations. It's also her second hand, so her secretary, Assunta De Lorenzo, who's her longtime friend, who was hired in this position right underneath her, top of the organizational chart in the department. So the two of them together, she's also accused of bullying. The two of them together apparently had sort of a tag team approach that just made employees feel incompetent and really wore away at their self-esteem.
So you've been getting reaction all week. We have as well. What is the latest from inside Rideau Hall?
Well, I spoke to a lot of those sources again today after this news broke last night that the Privy Council Office was going to be launching an external investigation with some sort of third party. And people are telling me that they feel relieved, that they haven't been able to tell their stories to anyone that they thought to make a change. Their complaints to the Ombudsman, their complaints to the Human Resources, they feel have gone nowhere. And finally, someone else from outside Rideau Hall is going to be coming in and looking at this, and they want to sit down and meet with them. It's also last night at around 9:30, after a statement came out from the Governor General, she also went on Twitter and sent out a message saying as well that she takes workplace harassment issues very seriously, but it's also interesting that she noted that she was the one to request the independent investigation.
It's also very different than her initial response, right? Like it took a few days before this was acknowledged to be a big problem and do something about it.
The initial response before our story actually aired was, look at this, the allegations you're presenting us, this does not reflect reality. And that, we didn't see any sort of response out of their office again until last night. And what we heard from the office last night was a very different tone that did not deny the allegations.
And so what kind of reaction has there been to that and also to the launch of a real investigation into this?
Yep, so sources they're looking forward to this. They want to meet with investigators. And as well, we heard from today, Minister Hadu as well spoke about this. She was part of the new harassment legislation for federally regulated workplaces that came into effect last night. And she said that she was saddened to hear these stories and that she wants as many people as possible, current and former employees, to be part of this review. As well, we heard from the Minister of Employment Minister right now, Carla Qualtrough, who said that this investigation should be as wide as possible. Take a listen.
I would absolutely encourage them to be incredibly broad in the perspectives. People who are trained in this kind of investigation understand how to weigh the comments and feedback they get, and they can feed it in very professionally into a recommended next step as part of their investigative efforts.
Now, I spoke to an expert who studies workplace harassment and bullying, who said that this is a sign that there is a serious problem with the system itself, that things should have never gotten to this point at Rideau Hall where you need an external review. And because of that, it's going to be difficult for the office to fix. And in some cases, there have been waves of employees that have already left, so they won't be able to repair some of that damage. Just take a listen to what she said.
We have been looking at harassment and workplace bullying now for 20 years and more. There is lots of good information out there. An organization like this, of this caliber, should have a long time ago evaluated how they could improve their process.
Now, the claims of harassment span 3 years, so Payette's entire mandate. And because of that, that expert said it's going to take a long time to do this investigation, and she estimates about a year or so.
All right. Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate the update. The CBC's Ashley Burke. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.